All organisations, whether purposeful or not, have a basic organisational structure. Different organisations can vary on the specificity and levels of management composition. Organisational structure is an operational system which outlines and navigates how and by who tasks are completed to achieve the overall goals and beliefs of the organisation. The type of organisational structure also assists in determining how information flows better between the different employee levels. The Australian Red Cross is a corporate charity which provides a range of services to promote the equity of all. Some of their programs include international aid across the Asia-Pacific region, international humanitarian law advocacy, migration support and blood donation. Historically, the Red Cross has been split into 9 divisional boards, therefore was operating under a divisional management structure. This type of layout groups similar functions together. This approach is useful when it comes to decision making, as a group division can react quicker to conditions than a flatter structure can. This style is also used when an organisation, like the Red Cross, operates in a range of different regions. However, as stated in the case application in the textbook, having 9 divisional boards resulted in 9 separate and divergent set of structures, systems, policies and processes for service delivery and the management of human and financial resources. This meant that the organisation was no longer speaking with one voice and conflicting messages were being published. This became apparent in 2004 when there were multiple divisions which publicly spoke of how they were responding to a crisis on the other side of the world in varying manners. It wasn't until the organisation elected a president and vice president when their organisational structure changed. The organisation in current times cannot be classified into a specific category, as it takes on elements from a range of structures. Australian Red Cross is currently governed by the Council of the Australian Red Cross Society and the Australian Red Cross Board. The Council's responsibilities range from receiving reports and financial statements to electing office bearers and additional board members. The board comprises of up to 16 members who altogether oversee the role of the Chief Executive Officer, the CEO. This position has the responsibility of the day-to-day management of the organisation and manages the executive team, which provides high-level advice to the CEO on key strategic and operational matters. In 2020, the Red Cross has approximately 5,600 staff members and over 20,000 volunteers and 17,500 members. These individuals are responsible for responding to over 780,500 phone calls in 2019 and over 45,900 trips made by volunteers to support isolated regions. The Australian Red Cross uses elements of the centralised model as it has one national board operating with 16 board members. These board members are allocated to a variety of one of the Red Cross's functions. In addition to the board, the Red Cross also has a CEO and executive team. The key aspect of the centralised model refers to the decision-making powers being concentrated among a few leaders at the top end of the command chain. Decisions are then communicated to the lower level managers who will implement these decisions through their employees. With the new centralised model, the Red Cross now has a state and territory divisional boards. These boards became responsible for managing a number of strategic policies and action areas referred to as national functions. However, these state boards are then built up of smaller boards, for example, their blood donation work. This would then be split into smaller sections, for example, marketing and finance. For each of these divisions, like blood donation, there would be a range of functions and divisions based on the location, product, customers, or process required for the product or service. This structure is ideal for this type of organisation, due to its large size and varying products and services required. In that sense, there is a functional aspect further down the chain of command you go, as there will be an accounting department and a human resource department for each of these smaller committee groups as well as the larger boards. Therefore, making the Red Cross aligning with the matrix structure, as it has both the mix of functional and divisional, in addition to it having a typical two-boss system with both an elected president and vice president of the organisation. However, the key aspects of a matrix model is individuals reporting to multiple supervisors or leaders in a flattered dotted line reporting style. The Red Cross has somewhat established the opposite, trying to create a smoother line of communication to reduce confusion and mixed messages, alike to the 2004 crisis. The Red Cross Australia can be characterised by a mechanistic structure than a solely organic, due to its chain of command being prevalent with the different boards made up of different committees, which have normal staff functions within, and so on. The key areas of mechanistic structure, or otherwise called bureaucratic structure, is based on formal, centralised work, whereas organic is a more flexible and adaptive structure. However, there is still a bit of organic structure, as those state and territory boards are all equal, as none are ranked higher than the others, creating the flatter structure. The Red Cross remains a mainly centralised system, with authority decreasing down the chain of command. This new management structure has allowed the Australian Red Cross to coordinate activities across a wide range of functional areas and geographical boundaries with their aid work. The Red Cross commonly refers to their internal operations as collaborative management built upon strong channels of communication between national and state and territory staff members. This is now embedded firmly in their One Red Cross culture, which has enabled the organisation to achieve national standardisation of organisational function.